Clint Thompson, Nick Wilson, David Murphree, back at it again with the White Vans for another episode of Talk or Go Home. Yes, that was like a 2018 social media reference, but
White Vans.
I'm throwing it out there. Yeah, back at it again with the White Vans. Dang, Daniel, back at it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, this is where I acknowledge my youth. Aaron, do you know what I'm referencing? Yeah. Okay, all right, good. Okay, at least I'm not insane.
You do understand nobody cares about Aaron, right?
I mean, I care about Aaron. I know you have this shtick where you act like you don't like Aaron, but secretly you love Aaron.
I don't like Aaron. Let it be known.
Yeah.
In the words of the Pharaoh from Ten Commandments, so let it be written, so let it be done.
Speaking of which, that movie, The Prince of Egypt, have you seen that animated movie from DreamWorks? That's a
back in the day
movie.
Back in the day, right?
That's a great movie. I think I still have it on VHS, which, is a thing. But
hold on. You have a VCR in your house?
We do.
Multiple. I don't.
We have one.
I don't
know
got
if it works.
I've got one DVD player, and it's stuck in a closet just in case we want to watch DVDs.
We've got one DVD player. Actually, I don't even think it's a DVD player. I think it's a Blu-ray player.
And I learned that my Xbox Series X will not play regular DVDs. We learned that. Yeah, it's Blu-ray only.
Really?
Yeah, because we learned that when we were getting ready to
I thought
watch
they were
the Predator.
backwards compatible. So how'd you
Apparently
watch
not.
Predator?
I bought it. Rented it on demand.
Streaming service? Yeah.
Well, the reason I have a VCR is because I'm trying to transfer stuff from VHS to DVD.
You have the dual that records.
Yeah, I'm trying, like old football games and stuff. I got two of them so I can transfer stuff.
See, I'm getting ready to take all my DVDs and transfer them to digital. So I got to get back on that actually.
And store them.
Yeah, and store them
digitally. What are you going to store them on? Like an external hard drive?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like because it's like, okay, we were VHS for what felt like a long time to me. I mean, my entire youth was VHS tape.
Mine was too until 2000-ish.
2000, 2001.
Yeah.
And then it's like, boom, DVDs hit the market. And we were DVDs for a little bit. And then it was like,
Blu-ray.
Boom.
Blu-ray's the way to go.
Remember, it was Blu-ray, HD, DVD. There was that little battle.
Yeah, that was like 2007.
That was like Sony versus Toshiba.
But it's funny because, like, from my childhood all the way up till 2000, so you go from, we'll say, 85.
Yeah.
85, so 15 years. And then you go from 2000 to 2007.
Yeah.
You got Blu-ray and HD. And, like, then, not long after that, you went to streaming services.
I felt like Blu-ray and HD DVD were only around for maybe, 3 years, and then out of nowhere, Netflix, the streaming version of Netflix bursts onto the scene, and completely changes the game.
Yeah.
And then, you have the
everything's streaming now.
Massive decline of Blockbuster, which, we've talked about that.
They had a chance to buy Netflix.
Yeah, they had a chance to buy Netflix and didn't do it.
And then they tried to do the same thing as Netflix, and then they got in bed with Dish Network.
Yeah.
For a while.
Well, Dish still owns the brand name.
Okay.
Dish still technically owns the Blockbuster name and still licenses it to that one store up in
Oregon.
In Bend, Oregon, the last Blockbuster. Which is, it's really sad when you think about it, how quickly things change.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know more about that than we do.
Well, no late fees. They changed that policy, too, didn't they? No late fees.
Yeah.
People just stopped bringing stuff back, right?
Yeah, and it killed them.
That's the next thing. I need to figure out how to put my DVDs on whatever you're doing.
On digital.
Yeah, that's the next step.
So why do you want your stuff on digital, though?
Well, I mean,
it's going to get to a point that if his girls ever wanted to watch anything he's got like that, they're not going to have anything to watch it.
Well, a DVD player, that's going to be obsolete. How are you going to watch Coy and Vance?
But that's the thing, though. So we have an old Windows 98 desktop with the CRT monitor.
Mm-hmm. And the floppy drive.
And the keyboard and the mouse. And we've got it in case we need it. We actually
is it the ball mouse? The old school ball mouse? The mouse with the ball in it?
It's actually a clicky mouse. Which, by the way, I didn't know this, but the graphic user interface, basically the desktop and the screen where you have the mouse and everything, they called it the GUI, the graphic user interface, GUI, was invented by Xerox.
Really?
Yeah. And when Apple came around, they were coming off the success of the Apple II, which all those early computers, you had to learn code to make them work. and Steve Jobs. They were going around. Apple had just started. They're still kind of in their startup phase. They're trying to become an enterprise, a corporate enterprise. And I know you're copying me.
No, if I was copying you, I'd be saying everything you're saying.
You're copying my hand movement.
If I was copying you, I'd be copying everything you're saying. You're good.
Well, I learned in college. I learned everything. Started learning computers on that DOS system.
DOS,
and
which is a Windows product.
And that only lasted just a little while. I guess they were phasing it out as I was taking that class in Windows, I guess.
Yeah. The
mouse and everything.
How DOS was kind of how most people navigated computers for a long time. And then Xerox came out with that graphics interface. Well, Steve Jobs and a team of his senior executives, they're touring Xerox Park. And Xerox was like, "Hey, look at what we're working on. We've got this what we call this graphic user interface." And Steve Jobs saw it and was like, "Look, this is going to revolutionize the computer industry." And he looked at his team, his senior leadership, and he said, "We've got to do this." And bing, bang, boom, a year and a half later, probably I think a year and a half later, the first Macintosh comes out, and it changes the game for computers. Where you have a screen with the GUI, a desktop, a mouse, a keyboard, all that good. I mean, obviously you had a keyboard, but like word processors, all that good stuff. It changed the game, and then Microsoft had to followed suit with Windows. So
it changes fast. Coy and Vance, y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
You don't?
No.
They were the lesser-known cousins on the Dukes of Hazzard.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're talking about DVDs. I was cleaning up at the house this summer, and I saw my box set of Dukes of Hazzard DVDs, and Coy and Vance were on there, and I totally forgot about them. Y'all don't remember them?
Yeah.
Neither one of you?
Yeah, I do, because I don't know if it's like a contract dispute or something, but they left.
Yeah, Bo and Luke left, and they just said
stuff.
they were off in NASCAR,
Right.
and Coy and Vance was on there.
Right.
For a season. I forgot all about them.
Hey, you better hold on to those. I mean, with the cancel culture that we have nowadays, those things might be worth something eventually.
I wonder if they let Coy and Vance
Kinda
come to
the
the
South.
reunions, the Dukes of Hazzard reunions.
Hammy's here.
Oh, really? Jake. Hey, Aaron, go let Hammy in.
Maybe let him in the back door, Aaron. Well, you're about to. Hammy!
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, we've only, I guess, what's the next medium for us? What's after streaming? Because it's not physical media anymore.
No, it's not. It's gonna be
through
cloud based.
He went through all the physical media. Like, so where do we go here? To me, I don't
know
of
where
course
you
my
go.
puny brain can't imagine like what the next step is. He went through all the physical media, basically.
Yeah.
Most of it. I'm not going to say all of it because when it
Well,
comes
just think of
to
music.
television.
Well, think about music.
Movies, yeah,
Like
you go from the phonograph to the record player to the
cassette. Well, to the 8-bit,
8-track,
8-bit.
to the cassette,
Right.
to the
CD.
there was something other than an 8-track though. There was something else too about that time.
8-track, cassette tape.
Okay.
That's as far back as I can remember. You had the 45 records and
The 33 1/3.
and then
72.
The 8-tracks and cassettes, and then DVDs after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's iTunes now.
Yeah, everything's streaming like the. I don't know where you would go either unless you just there's some kind of new device that helps you stream it. I mean, the Google Glasses was a thing for a minute.
No, the Microsoft HoloLens, which actually never came out.
It never
right?
came out. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Hammy are salty about that.
Hey,
Yeah,
is
a
there
little bit.
even still a place to go buy? Is there CD stores like
Yeah.
old Record Bar or something?
Well,
whatever?
the records
like in the mall?
records are kind of starting to make a comeback. Like people kind of like, hey, we kind of enjoyed this older stuff. Hammy's actually gotten some stuff, and he shared it with us, where he's gotten some records.
Because I hadn't gone to the store to buy a CD or nothing in
What's that
forever.
one in the mall up here? Is it FYE?
Yep, FYE.
Yeah, it's still
even there.
around,
I haven't
but
been in there in forever.
it's more like merchandise stuff now more than anything. Like,
Yeah.
they got a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the rise of records kind of it just became trendy,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of it had to do with the album cover art.
Right.
'Cause,
Because
I mean,
you missed that.
I bought records not to listen because I didn't have a record player. I bought records to hang on my wall in my apartment in college just because of the album cover art. Because you've got so much album cover art that's
Just going by the wayside. now.
Well, it's just famous though. It's like it's so recognizable because they put it on T-shirts and like Rumors, Fleetwood Mac's album Rumors. The cover art for that is I mean, I could instantly the silhouette of Mick Fleetwood, you know, it's just so instantly recognizable. You talk about AC/DC's album cover art. You talk about, I'm trying to think of different artists across
Rolling
different eras.
Stones.
The Rolling Stones, yes.
You got the Rolling Stones logo.
Pink Floyd. You know, the Prism logo or the Prism album. Well, I don't even know the name of that album. I just know the prism, the light going in and coming out of the rainbow on the other side. I mean, there's so much, I guess, wistfulness in society for things that have gone by, which makes me wonder when VHS tapes are going to become trendy, if they are going to become trendy.
I don't know if they will. I think DVDs will come back before VHS does.
Well, y'all aren't on TikTok. Aaron, you're on TikTok. Have you seen that TikTok of the old home video Disney intro where it's like, here we go, and it's Peter Pan, and it's like, the magic in our hearts. Yeah, so you don't know that because you didn't grow up with any of that, right?
I have.
You don't remember that
I do,
specifically?
I do because I have a bunch of old DVDs in my house.
Okay, so you remember it from DVDs. I remember it from VHS tapes.
Really?
Watching like we had The Fox and the Hound and Peter Pan all on VHS and The Lion King, and I remember it from there. And and when I saw that on TikTok, that little Disney home video intro, it just talk about just taking you back, just totally.
You're 4 again. You're 6 again.
For me, I was 6 again.
Yeah.
It was 2001, and I'm 6 again. I just gotten into kindergarten at Asheville Elementary School, and I don't know. It's just,
I thought it was funny because my sister, she had a goal to have all the Disney movies on VHS, and she had probably 20 of them at one point. Whoa. And then here they all come out on DVD. So guess what? Got to get them on DVD, and then you got to get the Diamond Edition because that's
she's
something.
That person.
And well, like it wasn't like her life goal to do it. It was just, hey, they're here, and like I would buy her a couple like for birthdays and Christmas and things like that. And then, then it become Blu-ray, and I'm like, all right, we already own this, in the Diamond Edition DVD. Do we want to get the Blu-ray of it or whatever? And then eventually just phased out. And like I was the same way with the.
Do you have eyebrows? Yeah, you do. Okay, they're just very white.
I was the same way with like the Marvel movies. Like we had all the Marvel movies on Blu-ray, and I was very proud of them. And then Disney Plus come out.
Bam.
Bam.
By the way, did you hear that Deadpool and Logan are hitting Disney Plus? They're going to be the first R-rated movies to hit Disney Plus. I'm sure when this comes out, they'll have already hit.
Probably. But you know what's still not out? Spider-Man.
I don't think
they won't.
I don't think it can.
They won't.
Because Sony owns the distribution rights to those. I don't think they will, which is sad. I hate that.
But I own them. I own them digitally through iTunes, I believe it is.
So you actually bought them?
I actually bought them.
You know what I bought the other day, which you and I have talked about this. I bought. Hold on, let me pull it up. You know what I'm going to talk about?
No, not that. It's the things that I want to say right there, but this is not a Triple Threat episode. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to our Triple Threat, please do so.
Yeah.
Because I would have made that comment if this was a Triple Threat.
Yeah.
Remind me, and I'll tell you what I was going to say.
Okay. After we get done recording?
Yes.
Okay. So this just takes me back to my... So, okay, in my purchased movies and TV shows on Apple TV, my Apple TV app, I've got Fargo, the television show. I've got Person of Interest, the television show. I've got The Flash, the television show. I've got Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when that was a thing, the television show. And I've got...
Man, that got weird.
Yeah, it did. And I've got season
3 of Lost.
The most, not the original season 1 of Doctor Who, but the modern season 1 of Doctor Who.
Person of Interest. What's that on?
CBS?
Probably Paramount. If I had
That's
to
not
guess.
a movie?
No, it's a
television show.
Oh, could y'all keep telling me to watch it, but I can't find it anywhere.
It's on iTunes.
That's for purchase, though. Like you have to purchase it season by season.
Yeah. But in terms of streaming, I bet it is on Paramount.
I bet it is on Paramount, but at one point it was on Netflix. It's about 6 or 7 seasons worth.
Now, in terms of...
Is Hammy not coming in?
He's at...
I left the door open for him, but I didn't see him out there.
Check your text messages. In terms of movies, I've got, listen to this: The Hunger Games, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, The Big Short, Knives Out, 1917. Have you seen 1917?
Yeah, you'd like that one.
You've got to watch
Have you?
1917.
I've seen Knives Out.
Did you enjoy that?
Really?
No.
Really? I liked it.
I haven't
Did you
watched
watch?
1917.
Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge by chance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you enjoy that?
Uh-huh. We watched that in class.
Okay.
I just had to hold my broom up in front of one scene.
Yeah. Moneyball. I've got Moneyball. But the most recent movie I purchased, because of nostalgia, was...
Fox and the Hound.
Oh, no. Let's see if I can... Nope. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see this. What angle I'm on? Okay, so I'm going to show it to this camera.
You have to get way on up there.
Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
Oh my gosh.
Thomas and Friends.
Oh my gosh.
From 2000, it's an hour and 25 minutes, starring Alec Baldwin, Mara Wilson, Peter Fonda, Colm Fiore, Didi Khan, Russell Means, and Cody McMains. Directed by Britt Allcroft.
When was that released?
2000.
And that, when I started watching it the other day, talk about, like, again, just being transported back to your childhood.
I did
Oh,
that.
man. And the movie's so horrible.
Oh,
It's so
and that's where
bad.
I was going to go. I did that with
It's so bad.
the original Land Before Time. I was like, man,
I love
I
The Land
love
Before
that
Time,
movie.
yes.
And then I watched it like when Maves was little. I'm like,
bad was it?
it's not as good as I remember. Like, I wore out. There's two VHS. There's three
There
VHS.
were multiple Land Before Times, though.
Yeah,
right?
just the first one. The rest of them all become musicals. There are 3 video cassette tapes that I 100% wore out.
Yeah.
E.T. Well,
Yeah.
we can go in the weeds. E.T., Land Before Time, and Dirty Dancing. That's a guilty pleasure. Don't judge me. Don't put baby in the corner.
I've never even seen Dirty Dancing. What's it about?
You are dead to me, Aaron.
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. Swayze crazy, baby.
Have you ever seen Dirty?
Yeah, I've seen Dirty Dancing.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
I carried a
It was good.
watermelon.
You what?
I carried a watermelon. That's a line from the movie. You have to watch it.
I have never watched that movie.
Oh my goodness!
I've
really?
watched the whole movie, but I've never watched
Start
it
to finish.
Start to finish. I've always watched this 30 minutes.
Like when you're a kid, like you're
30
watching it
minutes.
because your mom's like all into Patrick Swayze or whatever,
Yeah.
and like it's a kind of cool movie. Like the guy
It is,
gets
yeah,
the girl
I mean,
and everything, but then like you get older, like there's a lot of like adult themes in there. Like I mean, there's
Exactly.
like, some other stuff in there that I'm.
There
not
are a
gonna
lot
get
of
into.
adult themes in a lot of kids shows.
Oh yeah, SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob.
I love watching SpongeBob SquarePants as an adult now because it's like there's so many like innuendos in there, and you're like,
So many. I mean, the character design.
yeah,
Squidward.
yeah.
You know. I mean, that's just one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Powerpuff Girls,
yes,
Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and
Yes.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Those, wow, there's some of those that they won't air anymore.
Ed, and
because,
Eddie.
Yeah, Ed, and Eddie's another one. I love those old school Cartoon Network
There's
cartoons.
like 2 SpongeBob episodes that they no longer air.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's like,
He just said that though.
my bad, I'm sorry. I cannot, I'm sorry, I cannot hear.
Well,
Well, I can, but it's
You
like,
could hear more if you'd shut up.
Yeah, I'm distracted. I'm sorry.
Oh, Aaron. But what did you grow up watching? Did you grow up watching
Looney Tunes, Tex Avery cartoons.
A little bit of Looney Tunes, I guess.
Did you just stare at the wall or something?
Yeah, a little bit of Looney Tunes.
No Droopy.
Super Friend. Nah, I didn't watch cartoons much.
What'd you
I
grow
didn't
up on?
watch E.T. I never watched that movie.
You've never seen
No.
it?
I did watch Dirty Dancing. I didn't watch
Wait,
E.T.
you've never watched E.T.?
It just don't. It doesn't sound like it interests me, so I never watched it.
That's just such a
Uh-huh.
classic.
So what'd you grow
though.
up watching?
What
was your
I don't
thing?
even remember. Super Friends, I guess. That's all I remember.
Really?
Smurfs,
Yeah, I watched that.
Scooby
Super
Doo.
Friends, yeah, some Scooby Doo, stuff like that.
Hanna Barbera.
I will go ham on some Hanna Barbera.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, it was just Saturday morning. That was it.
That's true.
And you was out doing other
Well,
stuff.
that's where it was with us too, because it was forever before we ever got cable or.
I mean, it wasn't like every day.
Something
Well,
like
we didn't
that.
have cable TV. And
Right.
cartoons went on every day. It's just Saturday morning. That was
Right.
it.
And it was like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and you were done.
Yeah, it was Continental Championship Wrestling and cartoons on Saturday morning. That's all.
So, Continental Championship Wrestling.
Yeah. Gordon Soley,
Why are you?
Austin Idol, Bob Armstrong, Ron Fuller,
So
Tennessee
okay,
Stud.
Now we know what he watched. Now we know what you enjoyed. So, who was your favorite Continental, whatever you said, wrestler?
Continental Championship. Well, that was them.
CCW,
Ron
yeah.
Fuller and Bob Armstrong. The Armstrong. Tennessee Stud, Ron Fuller, and Bob Armstrong. And then later on he became Bullet. Austin Idol was on there. Who's the guy? Woo! Who's
Flair?
that? Yeah, he would be on there. Action Mike Jackson. He was on there.
Yeah.
You know he's still wrestling.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Action Mike Jackson is.
But see,
Still
when he
going to
was
that
on
tanning
there,
bed.
like a lot of times he would be the referee
Yeah.
that they would turn on, and he would get involved
Right.
on there. But he's pretty good though. He can wrestle.
Have you ever wrestled?
No,
Do you ever want to?
no. Well, at one time I probably would have.
Yeah. I was about to say, have you ever wanted to?
Yeah, I mean at one time, not right now, not today.
Like, I want to get involved in a wrestling match just on a one-off. Like, I don't want to do it for a living because, like, my body would never hold up to it. But, like, if they brought wrestling back to Asheville High School.
Yeah, I mean I'd go to that. I'd go watch that.
I'd go watch it, and then, like, I'd get involved. Like, I want to get involved, like, some way or another. Like, and I would be completely, like,
I want to ref. I've always been the guy that's wanted to ref one of those.
like
matches.
getting knocked out. But, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
Like, I want to get superplex, like, one time off the top rope.
I want to be that ref that just goes ham on the just
On the mat.
On the mat, yeah. Like
Look, I know you're
thought
a
that was so
you're
cool.
one of the, like, off the beaten path wrestling coaches, but, like, it's pretty much the same, but different all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that stuff was good. Now some of the Norwegian sheep herders, I think they were on there.
That sounds like that's never mind.
And Flair, I mean that's years ago. You know, how old would Flair have been in mid '70s?
Flair's
Sheep herders.
73 right now.
Okay,
My
like
stepson goes to Auburn.
late '70s. How old would he have been then? Would he have been in his?
40, in his prime, about his
He's
30s.
Yeah.
In his 30s.
Yeah, I mean he was on there, and then
Early to mid 30s.
Now I went to it one time. All those guys. I saw those guys at Boutwell, and it was packed. It was crazy. We just had to run in and get us a seat. General admission. It was crazy. So a steel cage match. Bullet. Well, it wasn't Bullet then. It was just Bob Armstrong and Tennessee Stud Ron Fuller. I remember it like it was yesterday. He spit on Bob Armstrong. Tennessee Stud Ron Fuller spit on him.
Man,
in the
some
ring.
of those old school wrestling stuff, like in Tennessee and Alabama and Georgia and Florida and Mississippi, there were some riots with the fans because of that. Because you don't mess with the good guys.
Yeah.
Like if you're a bad guy, like I miss wrestling. Like I wish I wasn't a smart fan when it comes to wrestling. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's not fake. It's
Why do you
choreographed.
think-
It's
why do you think
scripted.
wrestling lost its attractiveness and sort of. I mean, because we talked about it in that Mark and Matthew episode.
Because
at
your
the beginning
big
of the
name
season.
stars aren't in it anymore, and like you don't have those big name stars anymore.
McMahon just retired too,
He did.
didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited to see where it goes because they're kind
I
of
think
getting
social
ready
media
to.
had something to do with it too.
Social media did have a lot to do with it, but I think too whenever they killed kayfabe, which is the fakeness, like you're a good guy, I'm a bad guy, we hate each other, no matter we can't be friends behind. Like now it's like, I don't like you, you don't like me. We get on Twitter and we're taking selfies together, like that kind of thing. So you're right. I think social media had a bit to do with it, but I think too when you killed kayfabe, you kind of killed wrestling
But
a little
also
bit
you think-
because there's a realism that's not there anymore.
But also, you think about the medium that it dominated. Television is not what it was.
no, gosh, no.
And like
Pay-per-view's not what it used to be.
exactly. Everything stream. When you
What-
think of dominated, like what type of media dominates our cultural sort of, and even him to a certain extent, like even his generation sort of moved to Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu. You look at how it just pervades, like he's seen the Fire Festival documentaries.
Yeah.
I remember when that was like all over Twitter and all over Facebook and all
Yeah.
over Reddit.
But see,
I don't even know how he found out about it.
You've got your
How'd you find
own.
out about it?
I don't know.
Just scrolling through.
I don't know, but it
probably.
was good. People were talking about it. I guess I didn't know anything about it.
But see, when you build your own entertainment like that, you can watch whatever you want now.
Exactly.
Used to, you were a slave to the network.
To whatever was on.
Lost came on Mondays. And
I
then-
remember that.
And then
Waiting
wrestling
for Lost.
wrestling come on Tuesdays. Or,
Dukes
or
of
whatever.
Hazzard and Dallas is
What
on Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, you knew
you had
what
your
it, what
weekly
and
schedule.
you had it planned around it. Well, then
Yeah.
DVR kind of come out, kind of took the place of some of that, and now it's all streaming, and you just watch it whenever.
Everything's on demand.
Right.
I think Thursday was Magnum and Simon. They come on Thursday.
What was Friday?
Cheers was on Thursday too. I think Friday was Dallas and Dukes of Hazzard.
Were you a Cheers guy?
Yeah, I watched it.
I like Cheers.
Yeah.
TGIF. You remember TGIF?
No.
On ABC, like Family Matters and Full House and all those before they got in syndication. That was always a Friday night thing.
I did, you know.
It's Friday night, the mood is right.
I never
get it done, have some fun. TGIF.
I didn't start watching Full House. This is gonna sound bad until I got into college. And it was on syndication on I think Nickelodeon.
TV Land
that's
probably.
weird.
TV Land probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I always remember TV Guide being a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you made the cover
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
Guy, you made it because
that-
everybody had to have it to figure out what was coming on.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got TV Guide, but if we only had 4 stations, why do I need a TV Guide?
Well, the news is going to
We
be half
got
of
it,
them.
but
I remember as a kid getting upset because I knew as soon as Dad got home, we were going to watch the news. I'm like, why are we watching the news?
well, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
You didn't have you 24/7.
Exactly.
You got it right there at 6
It
o'clock.
wasn't here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to watch it.
Like I don't think we realize how much these things, and I really don't think like people his age understand how much these changed our lives.
Yeah.
You know, they're just used to it being the way that it is
Right.
now. We all had to go. Me really towards the very tail end. You towards the tail end, but you really got to experience it as an adult. The transition from what now you would argue is terrestrial, traditional media
The
to
norm.
the new digital age of everything's on demand at your fingertips media. You know,
I wonder who actually sits down and watches the nightly news
I
now.
don't.
Anymore.
Who would do that? I mean, I
It's
don't
all
even,
bad news now. Like I can't watch
don't
it.
watch
but I couldn't even tell you who anchors the nightly news, like the
can't
national broadcast. Years ago, I mean, that was your guys right there.
yeah. Like if you had your guy that you
Yeah.
trusted.
Yeah,
whether it was
Brokaw and Jennings and all them. And then before them,
Walter
Big
Cronkite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were you a
And Rabbit
Brokaw or
and
a
all
Jennings guy?
I'm a Brokaw.
Brokaw.
Okay.
But Peter Jennings, he did that the Century,
Right.
and I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
That series. But Brokaw, I thought what he did for the World War II generation was just
no
was
doubt.
awesome. He was always when he'd be on Letterman, it was always hilarious when he'd be on Letterman too. So
That's another thing. I mean, you know, you look at nightly
Late night
talk
TV
shows.
shows.
Those have changed.
Yeah,
so much.
back in my heyday, you know, in the early to mid 2000s, there was a war, quote unquote,
Yeah.
for late night television ratings to see who was the guy.
And it was just the major networks.
Right.
Now you've got
Everything.
you know,
Everything's got a
every
network.
network's got a late night.
the
talk show.
leading show for ratings is a news show, like on Fox News for nighttime. So it's
Yeah.
Gut
Yeah.
Fells. He's leading all the night show host.
Yeah,
More viewers.
it's well, and you know, I'm still surprised that SNL stayed relevant. You know, like
has it though?
well, by relevant I mean on the air because you look at Saturday night.
Well, the guy that
Live.
owns the network is big buddies with the guy that produces the TV show. So it's like, you know, until one of them pass away or retire, they're going to keep it on the air forever.
Do you think Lorne Michaels will do it until he dies?
Absolutely.
Because you know he stepped away. When did he step away? Like
when
10
it-
years into it or
yeah.
8 years into it,
Yeah.
and then it fell
It-
way off.
Yep.
Were those the Eddie Murphy days?
It was right after Eddie was when he left, I think.
Who left now?
Lorne Michaels.
He left for a while.
He left for 2 years,
Did he?
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left for a little bit.
Now I did watch a little bit of Saturday Night Live the other night. It was the guy that plays the MacGyver character, MacGruber. He hosted it. The one I saw, and it was still pretty funny.
No, that's not him.
Yeah.
He used to be on SNL, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
He
God, he's funny. What is his name?
Yeah, he's just okay.
I think
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, it's not.
Now I do think that it's just so one-sided. It
is.
just so
It is so
liberal
one-sided.
on that side. But I think the news is pretty funny on Saturday Night Live.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, yes, because they make each other
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
Michael Che. And,
Especially when they make
That's
tell each
I
other
think
jokes.
that's what's kind of saved it.
Yeah.
Through these years.
It's sure not the musical guest.
Yeah, I know.
Why has this always been so bad?
I don't know.
It's
The
not
musical
always.
guest
I
on
mean, at one point, like, okay, they kind of went for as everything goes. They go from popular and they go to cutting edge and they go to basically like nobody. Well, now it's kind of cyclical. They're back on that nobody stage, or not popular. I won't say nobody, but not popular, or maybe somebody that's not really hit it big yet.
I saw one a while back, years ago, when Johnny Cash was a musical guest on there, and Marty Stewart was playing with him. Oh, playing in his band. You know, that was pretty neat.
Speaking of Marty Stewart, can I go ahead and talk about this recommendation because I think it'll.
Are we done?
Are we done?
Well, I think it'll trigger a really long conversation.
Okay.
So my recommendation, I don't know where we are in the episode, but
You should ask the producer.
where are we on time?
We are 31 minutes.
Yeah, we ain't nowhere close. But if
No,
it,
I think this will trigger a conversation that'll last basically another 30 minutes. Okay. Talking in Circles with Clint Black. Have you seen it on the Circle Network? Have you heard of the Circle Network?
Yeah, that's what I watched the Opry on.
Yeah, it's the Opry's basically in-house country music network. Have you heard of it? Okay, so Clint Black has this television show. Y'all know Clint Black, right? The country music artist. And it's called Talking in Circles.
I used to not like him because we shared a name, and everybody used to call me Clint Black.
Well, I think you've outgrown that.
Are you looking at my hair, Nick Wilson?
No.
Not at all.
If you're listening to this and you don't know what Clint's
you're Clint
hair looks
White.
like,
You're Clint White.
yeah, you are. You're Clint White.
It's always Clint Eastwood and Clint Black.
Yeah.
I can handle Clint Eastwood. I didn't like Clint Black because of that. I've grown to really, really like Clint Black's music.
His music is really good, but Clint Black has got to be one of my favorite interviewers when it comes to music. And when he sits down with his guests, they do it on this like basically mock. It might be the real stage. I really can't tell when I watch it, but to me it looks like a mock Opry stage. And they go and they sit down. And his favorite question to ask, which I think is so cool, and I want to see what y'all answer.
So he's doing the interviewing.
Yes, Clint
of these different
Clint
people.
interviews various. Actually, it's not just music artists. It's movie stars.
Sure.
He interviewed Dennis Quaid about his new Reagan film. You know, him playing President Reagan, which I think you'd be very interested in, Murphree. But his favorite question to ask is, if and when you get to heaven, who's the first person you're going to sing a song with and why? Or excuse me, what song?
What song do you? Who's the first person
you're going to sing a song with?
And what song is it? It's going to be my dad. I know that. I just don't know. I don't know the song.
You don't know the song?
I don't know the song.
What about you?
Swing Low, Sweet Chariot with my grandmother.
There you go.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Did you sing that with her?
Every day.
Are you serious?
On the swing. Yeah.
Swing Low, Sweet Chariots.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
How old were you?
Ever since I can remember.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
You don't get me emotional, Nick. I don't like you.
I think mine would probably be Little Lies with My Mom by Fleetwood Mac.
Well, you can go sing that with her right now.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, she's still alive. But she's much older than me.
Wow, this is getting weird.
Today's
fast.
my parents' anniversary.
I did know,
You know
that.
Yeah, I wished him happy anniversary already.
Yeah, I haven't.
We're
Man,
all-
I need to
oh,
call
never
her.
He didn't know this morning.
I didn't.
In my defense, I didn't either, but
And guess
somehow or
what?
another, our head coach did.
I got my dad to get up early with me and come with me in the Bronco this morning so he could drive my CRV back to the house.
Didn't even mention
Didn't
it.
even mention it, did he?
Hey, yeah, who
Did
would
he know? Did he know?
Oh, yeah, he knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what child? Who would know? I mean, I wouldn't know when my parents' anniversary was either.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah. Both of them, actually.
By heart?
Yeah.
I don't.
My parents got married twice to each other twice.
Well, let's just open the books, shall we? I did not know that. They got married twice?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, my
Married, divorced, separated, married, divorced, lived together till my dad passed away.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I did not know that.
Raymond's thing was always, if we're married, we can't get along. But if we're divorced, I can do whatever I want to. She can do whatever she wants to. But we'll live together.
No way.
No, 100%. His thing was, there's always something about that ring makes them women go crazy. His saying.
Do you think it's because you're locked in?
I guess it's because you know that there's no freedom.
Yeah.
And I say freedom.
I mean,
I don't
first
mean,
off, you're a married man.
I'm a married man. I'm a
Yeah.
happily married man.
Yeah.
Awkward
I thought you were gonna elaborate there. I thought
No.
You were gonna continue
Happily
that.
married,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I understood what my dad was talking about. And
Do you think there are certain people that just can't
Yeah.
make marriage work?
yeah, well,
Apparently.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about them.
No,
I'm talking about just look around in the world.
Well,
today.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I mean, speaking as a
at
man
one point
that's
it
never
was
been married,
right.
like, and is currently not married, like, I would hope that I could stay married to somebody. I think I can.
like you get to somebody and you like
like I'm
really
married to
enjoy
Shay.
spending time with them and all that, and
Yeah.
you know. But at the same time, it's like I kind of miss whenever I was able to do this, and this, and it's not so
Whatever
much
you
like
wanted
me
to.
personally. I can't go do those things.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I'm coaching high school football.
Yeah.
Who would never in a million years would I ever thought I'd be coaching high school football
Yeah.
as a volunteer coach, but I'm coaching high school football.
Yeah.
Never in a million years I think I'd have a podcast, much less 2 podcasts. You know, it wasn't high on my list to do, but I'm doing it.
Exactly.
You know, never in a million years that I think I'd be back doing anything with Asheville High School, at least until my kid got to high school, which he is now.
But you started
But
right before he got to
yeah,
high school.
exactly. So, there's a lot of things that goes on with that, but never in a million years I think I'd be married. Never.
Really? So when you were young, did you ever think you were going to get married?
Everybody thinks they're going to get married. I mean, but
So you just kind of assumed, you didn't really think
I just
about
assumed, but I never thought about it.
Yeah.
And then when Carrie and I started seeing each other and everything, it was, hey, this is I enjoy being with her. I enjoy spending time with her. I enjoy everything about it. We need to make this a full-time thing, and that's what it became.
Yeah. What about you and Julie?
Well, there's just phases in life. I mean, you just apparently, you get to that point where everybody's married. That's kind of what I did. It's just all my buddies and everybody were married. So that's not why I got married.
Yeah.
but-
Well, okay. How'd you know? Is that a hard? Is that a difficult question?
You just know.
Yeah, I guess you just know, but then
Yeah.
people say that it's easy. I don't know that I agree with that.
That marriage is easy.
Yeah,
marriage
people
is
that say
marriage
that.
is not easy, but like Carrie and I, we don't really fight. Like I'll pick at her and she gets really pissed off at me.
Yeah.
She does.
I've seen it. It's funny.
But like we don't really fight. We have had a couple of fights, but what married couple doesn't. But we try to make sure that we have a mutual understanding about a lot of things, and that's really what it is. There's a lot of work that goes into not fighting, even. At the same time.
How did I know? I guess I don't know. The first time I ever saw her, I guess.
You're just like, man, I got to marry that chick.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess that's. Yeah, I guess that'd be my answer.
Yeah.
First time. I mean, I can remember the first time I ever saw her exactly what she was wearing and where we were and everything.
It was that.
She couldn't tell. She probably couldn't tell. Go that in depth about me, probably.
Yeah.
I could about her.
No, you were. That was when you were. You were walking from Marshall's to Target, and you were hiding in between those things in that parking lot.
No, I remember when I saw her.
So you were stalking her?
No, that wasn't when I saw her. I remember when I saw her the first time.
Where was it?
Applebee's.
Where at?
Eating
Okay,
good in
I don't
there.
think I've ever heard this story. Have you ever told this story?
we were just. Well, I told my aunt set us up. So she lived in Trustful, so we just met in Trustful.
Yeah.
And that was our first date. Met at Applebee's and then went to see the. We ate and
Do you remember when we went to the USFL game?
Yeah.
It was their anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a weekend of their anniversary.
Yeah.
You remember where they went for their anniversary?
No.
Applebee's.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. Because we
No.
went to Hattie B's.
I can remember we went to see that Headless Horseman movie. I think Johnny Depp was in it. Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
It's not a great movie, but it's very entertaining.
You're
because,
exactly right. It's not a great movie.
It is entertaining though, because Christopher Walken was was the Headless Horseman.
Thank you for bringing up Christopher Walken.
Okay.
Because David Murphree is the funniest man in America. I just want you to know that. Because somebody had made a Facebook post, and it completely off subject, but it reminded me because of Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Do you know where he's going?
He had put up, somebody had put on there, like, what is something that that people today don't have that they need more of?
Yeah.
Completely unrelated. I don't even know if David knew the person.
Yeah.
His response was
didn't.
Cowbell. Like, I'd take a picture of it and I shared it. It's like, David Murphy, the funniest man I've met.
That
in my life.
automatically it just boom.
It just came to you, and you're like, I got to do that.
Yeah,
I got to commit to that.
I didn't know who it was. It was like I had a million comments.
There are moments like that where he's commented stuff like that on people's posts, and I'll look at it and I'll die because I'm like, that is genius.
Yeah.
I wish I could have come up with that.
Yeah, you know, everybody's comments on there was just discipline.
Right.
I just
Discipline. Cowbell. Yeah, when you said Christopher Walken, it made me
I got a
think
fever.
the only cure is
I thought it
more
was the only
cowbell.
prescription.
Yeah.
The only prescription.
It's
is
more
more
cowbell.
Hey, Johnny Cash, you talking about Clint Blackwell?
Clint Black,
Let me.
yeah.
Hey, did you know that he recorded "The Gambler"?
I didn't know
song?
that.
Who?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny
recorded
Cash
it.
recorded it.
Yeah, did you know that?
No, I did not.
He recorded it before Kenny Rogers. They had the same manager or producer or something. He actually recorded it for Kenny Rogers, but didn't release it till after Kenny Rogers released his. But he recorded it first, and his version's out there. I heard it the other day.
Huh. I didn't know George Jones had made a "The Race Is On." Here Comes Pride in the Backstretch. I didn't know that was a George Jones song. I always thought that was.
Was he the first one to do it, George Jones?
I think so.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. And Chris Stapleton,
Yeah.
Tennessee Whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah,
Who did
It's not
that
a
first?
not a that was
George Jones.
George Jones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But for some reason, well,
Wait, well, no, it's not the same song, is it?
Yeah.
it is the same song, but they're sung very differently.
Yeah. The music and the way it's sang
It's
is
very
very
different.
different.
Oh, it's
But
just
it's
total. I
it's
wouldn't
the
have
same
thought
song.
that would have been the same.
Yep.
Chris Stapleton's. I prefer Chris Stapleton's version just because I really love Chris Stapleton's voice, his soulful voice.
Here-
but the George Jones version is really good too.
Here's something I want to table for a future discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is breaking. Okay, so I want to table this for a future discussion on this podcast. But songs that are cover songs that people have made their own that is more popular than the original.
Oh, like Hurt. Johnny Cash's Hurt.
Johnny Cash is Hurt.
Trent Reznor has said, because that's a Trent Reznor.
Song.
What's his band?
9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails. That's a 9 Inch Nails original.
Mm-hmm.
But Trent Reznor's gone on record saying that's not a
Right.
9 Inch Nails song. That's not a Trent Reznor song. That's a Johnny Cash song. Even
Right.
though Johnny Cash covered it.
Right.
I just
My
don't-
Maria. Brooks and Dunn's My Maria.
That's not an original.
That's not an original.
My Maria.
Yeah.
I love that song so
Yeah.
much.
I can tell.
Who's
I
the
couldn't
ori-
tell you. But it's not. It's a cover.
Let's look it up.
I just don't think I'm gonna have to go listen to those two, the George Jones song and the one. I just don't think.
Because I did it. Because I thought the exact same thing. I heard
Okay.
George Jones like, dang, I know this song, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, and all of a sudden they got to the chorus,
Yeah.
smooth as Tennessee whiskey, and I'm like, is this the same? This ain't the same song. It's the same song.
Okay, so some of my favorite covers of old songs like that. Mark Chestnut does them.
Yeah.
Like I Never Go Around Mirrors and stuff like that. I think he does a good job on them.
She broke my heart, so I broke her jaw.
Here we go.
I almost lost it.
Am I clear?
Yeah, you're good.
My Maria is a song co-written by B.W. Stevenson and Daniel Moore. Stevenson released My Maria as a single in August 1973, and the song became a top 10 hit, peaking at number 9 on the U.S. pop chart. It remained in the top 40 for 12 weeks and spent 1 week at number 1 on the U.S. Adult Contemporary chart in 1973. In 1997, a cover version by Brooks and Dunn was released and reached number 1 on the U.S. Country Music chart.
Yeah, they had a falling out. I don't think they
Brooks and Dunn?
don't.
I've heard rumors of that, but I've heard that they've. It's
think
not.
they- I
It's
think
not a
they-
complete separation.
It's not a
It was
complete
like
separation.
a-
I just think they had different ways of going about what they're doing. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Ronnie Dunn. Ronnie Dunn's a mustache
Yes.
guy, right?
Yes.
Ronnie Dunn hosts
Brown-headed guy, not the dark-headed one.
the dark-headed one.
That's
That's Brooks. That's Kix Brooks.
Yes.
He has a weekly
Yeah, Kicks Brooks.
countdown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of went with that
Mm-hmm.
because it was taking a lot of his time. Probably was making more money, more consistent kind of thing.
Well, when you look at people that do stuff together for that long, I mean, and they were put together by the industry. They weren't put together. They didn't come to Nashville together.
Oh,
They were
I did
put-
not know that.
No, they were put together by their label.
I did not know that.
Yeah, or by a producer or their manager or something. But they were put together. So, they just had this natural chemistry, and it was like basically, okay, here you go, y'all are a group now.
Go be a super.
Go be superstars, and they were really good at it. They had that chemistry that made them successful, but they've never been famous
individually.
not together, right?
Individually.
And I think that after that long strains on the relationship a little
Ronnie
bit.
Dunn's had a little bit of success.
I think
but
he's
not,
definitely the more famous of the two.
Right.
Because
But-
I keep forgetting what Brooks' first name is.
Kicks.
Yeah, and he's got the better first name.
Yeah. But like, if you go and listen to some of their like B-side stuff,
Yeah.
like just some of the stuff that didn't really get airtime, it's really good. It's really
Most
good.
of their stuff's really good. I really like Brooks and Dunn. In terms of country duos, I mean they're legends. I mean, just regardless of the fact that they're duos, but in terms of country duos, they dominate. I mean,
Right.
they still do. You know,
Yeah, I mean they've got a ton of awards just for that
they released
duo or group, I believe.
I think it was like a cover greatest hits album a couple of years ago, where like Luke Combs
rebooted.
and,
Number one's rebooted.
I'm trying to think of who else was on there. Luke Combs and maybe Justin Moore and maybe not Justin Moore, but modern contemporary
Stars doing their
country
music or
stars
they're duetting with them.
with
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really good
It's okay.
music. Some of them, there's
It's
one of
okay.
them that I prefer over the original. But I really enjoyed the album.
I'm going to listen
I
to
really
Brooks and Dunn on the way home or
Yeah.
to the Mexican
I was
restaurant.
just listening to him a while ago.
did. Really?
Really?
What song?
She used to be mine.
That's
Great
a
song.
good
It
one.
is.
Gosh,
It's
Golly,
fantastic.
that's a good one.
It's
And
good.
I feel
You
like
know
it's
what
one
really
of the more
good at?
underrated
Yeah.
songs.
That's one of my favorite ones of theirs of all time.
You know what we are really good at on this podcast? Talking about country music, apparently, because we do it way too often.
No, hey, but Brooks and Dunn, no, I've seen them a bunch of times.
I've
never
never
seen
seen
them.
I've seen them at the
I wanna
Civic
see
Center
them.
with Reba McEntire twice on that
I
tour.
want to see her.
And but what sticks out in my mind of them just getting after it was June Jam, just like in the middle of the day.
That's the second thing we're really good at.
No,
talking about
no,
the June
I'm
Jam.
talking about like in the middle of the day, man. It's 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember Ronnie Dunn. I think he had a Harley Davidson shirt on, long sleeves. I guess just to stay out of the sun. But they were just dripping wet, sweat, just getting after it.
Yeah.
The drummer back there with a pair of overalls on. It was good. It really was.
Middle of June.
Yeah.
Middle of a pasture.
Just giving it 110%.
Oh man, those are the days.
Hey, you were the topic of conversation up at the Field House the other day in
Yeah.
an offbeat way about your overalls. We were kind of talking
Yeah.
about everybody wearing overalls, and then one of the coaches up there was like, we should all just wear overalls
Oh.
to come coach in one day.
I've got a great David Murphree story. Can I tell this story?
I don't know if you can or not.
Do you know what story I'm thinking?
No.
of?
No,
Is
so-
it from the other day in overalls?
Yes.
No, don't do that.
Okay, never mind. I'll tell you when we get off air.
Yeah, that's just what sticks
Hold
out
on,
in
what
my
was the
mind.
thing I was supposed to? Oh, I remember.
Mark Sanders came by the other day,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
just to hang out. Yeah. So
I love Mark.
I'll tell you that story.
Okay.
Because yeah, Mark texted me later on that day and told me that that's probably the greatest David Murphy story he has now.
Yeah, but that
He's gonna change subject now.
Yep. Here it
I mean,
comes.
like there were people like weren't doing anything but just sitting in the sun,
Yeah.
and like they were passing out, having to get medical attention. But them two were just there.
he went back to the story.
They were just jamming.
Yeah, I mean, it was just that just sticks out of my mind. about
I
how
like
they got
performers
after it.
that love to perform.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
like performers that show up to do a job to get paid for it because that's what they're supposed to do.
Well, a lot of times you have your studio people that are your studio artists that are really good in the studio,
Right.
And they're really good on record,
Right.
But and then you have your performers. To me, Garth Brooks is a performer. He's a guy that's really good on stage.
He's really
You know,
good on stage. I like his studio stuff too.
I mean,
He's that rarity where he's really good in both. Like the band Cake, Go in the Distance, that song, long skirt, long short
out-
skirt,
watch out
long
now.
short skirt, long jacket. Anyway, I've never seen them play live, but I've
Yeah.
heard they are just like statues. Like they just get up there and they just play
Cake?
and that's all Cake. C-A-K.
I never heard of them. Now,
You-
I've heard of
you-
the Long Bellow, but I
you-
hadn't heard of Cake.
You would know some of their songs just from pop culture if you heard them,
Now,
like you really would.
Now, I want to go see the Long Bellow real bad, but it's somewhere that I don't
bad.
know much about.
Is it in Germany? Because we got people in
No,
Germany.
it's in Birmingham, close to the
will
airport.
Julie listen to this episode?
Probably not. She don't listen to any of them.
She said that's a lie, by the way.
What?
That she does listen to some of them.
Hey, I went to that closing ceremony of the World Games.
Yeah,
How did that go?
Yeah.
If I had it do over again, I wouldn't go.
Oh wow.
Oh, was that bad?
It wasn't good. It was a closing ceremony. It wasn't a show.
Yeah.
It was a closing ceremony. But I mean, they had a lot of good entertainers there. Like you talking about Garth Brooks being a protected. Well,
Yeah, he was there a couple
But
weeks.
the protected stadium it's really nice. I like it.
It's I love that.
It's really
stadium,
nice.
man.
But the
Yeah.
closing ceremonies, it was.
I've not been in it.
If you're just
In that
going to be
stadium?
entertained, it was pretty bad.
I haven't been in that stadium.
Yeah, why didn't you come to the? You didn't come to state championship games.
I have a real job. I'm a volunteer coach. I have a real job.
But you take off at the drop of a hat, though. I figured that would be something you'd take off for. I
I
mean, there were night games.
Yeah.
Why didn't you come to any of the night games?
Because y'all were already down there. I wasn't driving by myself. It's Birmingham.
I drove.
What? It's a long way. What are you talking
says
about?
the guy that I'm real tough. It's Birmingham.
No, I'm saying it's a long way away. I'm not saying I'm
Do
scared
that
of
voice
Birmingham.
you did that on the. Do that. It's Birmingham. I don't know why my voice is so hoarse. I think it's because I've been yelling at practice all week.
Yeah, practice. Football season is upon us in
Split
October.
ends. Offensive line.
Woo!
Neither one of them know how to block.
Oh wow.
All right, what are y'all's recommendations? Who wants to go first?
Mine's going to lead to a story, so I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, just the World game. Let me finish that up.
Okay, perfect.
About that, it was supposed to be from 8 to 10.
David's
Yeah.
recommendation: don't go to the World
Yeah, don't
Game.
go.
Don't go to the closing ceremony of the World Games.
Well, it's supposed to be in China in 2025, so they had a lot of the people from China there. They were passing the torch to them, and they made speeches in Chinese, and I didn't understand none of that. And then there would be somebody making a speech in Spanish, and I didn't understand none of that. The guy that's the head of the World Games, I didn't understand none of that. So Alabama was supposed to be there, but they weren't there. Randy Owens was there. He sang one song.
What? Hold on, Alabama wasn't there?
No, they wasn't there. I had my Alabama shirt on and everything. Randy Owens, he sang one song, and then they had all of the.
Was it My Home's in Alabama?
No, it wasn't even. It wasn't even a good one.
What was it?
I don't even remember.
It was
wasn't
so
a good
bad
one.
he don't even remember.
It wasn't my favorite one. It wasn't Mountain Music or Tennessee River. I tell you that right now. But then they had all the American Idol people were there.
Yeah,
They
all
had
the Alabama
of them.
ones.
Yeah, all the Alabama ones.
Bice
Blind
and
Boys. Right now,
Ribbon Studdard.
look, they had good people there.
They just
to
didn't do a
entertain. They
concert.
just didn't let them entertain. Cause like Jamie Johnson was there.
Yeah.
He was there. He sang with the Blind
color,
Boys of
baby.
Alabama. And then Lionel Richie. He was supposed. I never seen him before. I was kind of looking forward to it, seeing Lionel Richie. And so it's supposed to be from 8 to 10, but it was 11 o'clock before he ever got on the stage. Been waiting 3 hours. And they kept showing, there was 11 days of the World Games.
Yeah.
And they kept showing this video. They went through every day of what happened that day. And so that lasted for an hour. And
Hey, we
then-
didn't have to buy tickets. This crap. We could just watch this video.
And so that went on. I mean, you got tired of watching that and not understanding any of the language or anything. And then, so Lionel Richie, it's time. And the PA announcer even said, it's going to be worth the wait. Because people were getting kind of restless.
Yeah.
So Lionel Richie comes out. Everybody's like, all right, let's get going here. He comes, evidently he's been in Vegas doing one of those residencies. So
Yeah.
there's no telling how much they had to pay him to come down. He comes down here, brings his whole band and everything.
One song.
3 songs.
3 songs.
And then done.
Were they good? Did
Yeah,
he
they
do
were
a
good
good job?
songs,
Yeah.
but
How about I didn't know he was from Alabama?
Tuskegee.
Yeah. I didn't
yeah,
know.
I mean, he talked about that. He did "Dancing on the Ceiling," "All Night Long."
All night
Yeah.
long,
Well, he
all night.
finished up with that one, "All Night Long," and then
What about
"You
hold
Are."
on.
He did that song "You Are," and I knew all of them. I was pretty good, pretty big Lionel Richie, but
Hold
3
on.
songs and.
Doesn't Lionel Richie do Hello?
Yeah, I thank goodness you didn't sing that. I'm glad I didn't want to hear that. All the other ones are pretty good. I wanted to hear.
Well,
his
that
other
would have
ones,
been really, really well with Blind Boys of Alabama.
Let me. Hey. Hey, there's one song. I didn't know this. He wrote "Lady"
Lady.
and pitched it to the Temptations, and they didn't like it. And so Kenny Rogers had the same manager, and he pitched it to Kenny. So he's like, "Hey, Lionel, come on into the studio. Let's record this song." And Lionel helped produce the record and whatnot. Well, they're in the studio recording it, and so they get kind of the first verse down, or the first line of music basically, and they're getting ready to record the vocals. And Kenny looks around, and Lionel's gone, and he's like, "Where's Lionel?" And then the engineers were like, he's in the bathroom. Lionel was in the bathroom finishing up the chorus of the song because he hadn't fully written out the song.
Holy
because he
moly.
didn't think that it was ever going to be made because the Temptations didn't like the pitch that he'd pitched to them. But he finished that song on the toilet in the bathroom right before he went and recorded it with Kenny Rogers.
I can't do the same thing. I'm finishing, but it ain't a song.
There's no telling what words to be in that song if I was finishing one on the toilet.
Hot magma!
I don't remember eating any corn.
I don't remember eating any corn.
Lady, I don't remember eating any corn.
Basil. Oh, man. If you don't know what movie we're talking about.
So Lionel Richie, he didn't record Lady first?
Because I'm fat.
No,
I'm
apparently
fat
not.
because
Okay.
I eat.
Apparently he didn't. Great movies. Great trilogy.
I'm very badly burned.
No, I really
but
wish he
still
would have done
alive.
some of that old Commodore stuff.
Yeah,
I would have
man, that would've
loved to
been
heard
cool.
some of that. Like for him to sit down at the piano and done some of that stuff. It could have been really good, but it
I
wasn't.
wonder if he'd pitched it to the Commodores. He wasn't with the Commodores then. He was a solo artist, I guess, at that point. But I wonder if he'd also pitched it because Kenny. I saw a TikTok of Kenny Rogers accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award, and he told that story. And he talked about and he brought Lionel up onto the stage. No, they were doing a Lifetime Achievement thing for Lionel, and Kenny got up there to sing "Lady." But they sang it together. And he mentioned that he had pitched it to. He might have said that he pitched it to
This
one
is
other
a
band.
song I wrote while on the toilet.
So Kenny made Lady real
Yes.
famous, and he made The Gambler real famous.
Yeah.
That from other people now.
Sometimes-
Islands in the Stream. I don't like that one.
Sometimes-
That's
I
bad
really
memories
like
of
that song.
Sometimes-
Do you like Dolly Parton?
Yeah, and Kenny Rogers.
Working 9 to 5.
I'm just okay on Dolly.
I like Dolly.
I'm just okay on Dolly.
Now there's a song that I just started listening to that is really how do I describe it? It's a duet with Dolly and Kenny, and it's called "You Can't Make Old Friends." And they recorded it. The original they recorded a long time ago when they were touring together, but then they re-recorded it right before Kenny died. And it's really powerful. It's really, really good.
Do y'all think that there's any like relationships that goes on with some of these like duet tours like
No
back in
doubt.
the day?
No
like
doubt.
Clint Black and Winona Judd. That was a thing. Like I don't know if they were a thing because Clint Black was a married man, but you know, you look at like Gwen Stefani and Blake Sheldon.
Yeah, that's
you
a
know,
weird. That's a weird.
That's
couple,
a
though.
weird couple.
Yeah.
You know,
They were on the show together. That
The
show.
Voice.
yeah, but they're together
Yeah.
now. I
They're
think.
married, I think.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he'll post TikToks of him on the tractor and she's on another tractor and they're baling hay. And you're like, Gwen Stefani knows how to bale hay.
This is banana.
This is hay. Hay.
Why? Hey.
What's your recommendation?
Or go home. Oh crap! I need that.
Aaron, can you get
No,
that
I don't
for
need
him?
it.
Okay.
I was being funny. So yeah, see, it's funny. What
You hit the camera.
did I?
The camera went like pure white.
What's your recommendation?
I don't remember.
He needs the card.
Yeah, I need that card.
Aaron, grab the card for him.
Stay off camera.
But you said you have a story, right?
That's not it. That's not it.
That's the dinosaur.
No. I'm saying
It's over there.
I'm good. I've got it. Seriously, I got it.
Okay, never mind.
So this weekend, as of the weekend of recording, the weekend of recording, this weekend is a big wrestling pay-per-view, which is funny because we were just talking about this in a way.
Yeah.
It's a big wrestling pay-per-view called SummerSlam, WWE SummerSlams from SummerSlam, WrestleFest '99. It's coming from Nissan Stadium up in Nashville. So what ends up happening in the industry is you get a lot of like conventions like Comic-Con and stuff come to these big events, but it's like wrestling based Comic-Con kind of thing. Well, one of the things that's going on is Ric Flair's last match, and this is like a homegrown thing that they've started up of saying, hey, you know, Ric Flair had his last match in WWF and WWE, and then he ended up going to another promotion because he was broke.
Because he needed the money.
And needed the money,
Yeah.
and he's even said that he regrets it, never going that route and all that. Well, his thing was, I'd like to have one more match. Well, Ric Flair's 73 years old. Well, apparently, like, for the last almost year, he's basically been preparing for this. Like, he'll get in there and he'll do all his old Ric Flair stuff. Said he's in great. He says he's in the best physical shape he's been in 20 years.
I thought he was near death.
He was. No, seriously, he was like 5 years ago.
I was expecting. I thought he was hard. I thought he was about to go.
Yeah, but then like I think he had a COVID scare.
Yeah,
and,
he
and,
did.
and was really bad off at that point too. And
So he's going to wrestle.
he's going to wrestle. And there's a whole pay-per-view surrounded around
It's
it.
almost worth it just to watch him.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. Well, they have like old school promotions. You can find these things online where, like, you know, Ric Flair's out doing something and somebody comes and beats him up. Like, you know, it's pure baby face and heel stuff from like back in the day. Like you would really enjoy it.
So who's he going to wrestle?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I really
It's
don't.
WWE.
No, it's not. It's not associated with a major promotion. This is
So,
all.
so it's an independent pay-per-view.
It's an independent pay-per-view with big company talent. So there's
Okay.
talent from all these other organizations that's going to be there, like
Just to honor him.
basically to just honor him. And like, there's going to be all kind of movie stars and stuff there because Ric Flair's a cultural icon.
Oh,
if
no
you really
doubt.
think about it. And I remember as a kid, I hated Ric Flair. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's the dastardly bad guy. And now you're like,
Two claps
Ric
on Ric Flair.
yeah, like everybody knows Ric Flair. You know, Ric Flair's the man. You know,
The two most, I think, well-known wrestlers from that I guess golden age of wrestling, or
Yeah.
for my generation,
yeah.
are Ric Flair
Mm-hmm.
and Macho Man Randy Savage.
It's got to be Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk and Andre
No,
the Giant.
For me, my generation, it was Randy Savage because everybody had the glasses when I
Yeah.
was in school.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, Hulk Hogan, you know, the blonde hair, bandana, whatever. Good job. But everybody had the Randy Savage glasses. I mean, Hulk Hogan was up there too, but I just remember for like 3 or 4 years there when I was in early middle school, it was like you wanted to dress up as Randy Savage for Halloween.
I don't remember being that popular at that point, but okay.
Well, you were 20. You were in your 20s.
What are you trying to say?
I was 8.
But see, he hadn't wrestled since whenever WCW went under and WWF bought him out. He wasn't wrestling anymore. So literally, you've probably never seen him wrestle live.
No.
Like seriously, because WCW was defunct in 2001. And I
Yep.
think he was out by that point
Yep.
completely. I think he wrestled one more match after that, and it was just kind of a one-off.
Macho Man.
But anyway,
Snap into a
Ric
Slim
Flair's last retirement match, his last match. That's my recommendation.
You
So,
going to watch it?
I don't know if I'm going to get the pay-per-view. But I'm going to find a way to watch it. So,
How much is the pay-per-view?
$35.
Oh, that's not bad.
Go on Fight TV app, whatever, blah blah blah. I mean, by the time this airs, it'll be way over. But that's my recommendation as of today. So, I'm actually looking forward to.
What's the
to
date
hearing
on
about
that?
it.
It'll be
Sunday.
out on
Sunday.
So August
31st?
the 31st, July 31st.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's the 31st.
Wow. Okay.
So, anyway, real quick, personal question. You're probably not. Your answer is going to be really different if you have any at all. If you put a Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, not your favorites, but the
I'm not
four
gonna have an answer to this.
the four that means the most, that have meant the most to pro wrestling, or best wrestlers ever. What are your four?
Well, it's got to be Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, and Ric Flair. But the fourth one, I don't know how to think about the fourth one a little while. I would. Can you put a tag team up there as the fourth one?
Sure.
See, mine
Mike Rotundo and Barry Windham.
Okay.
would be very different
Well, see, there's different ways you can go about it. You can go with like
because I grew up in the Attitude Era.
right who you think are the best ones. So I mean, like most everybody's going to have Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan up there because that's
Yeah.
a '70s superstar and an '80s superstar.
Yep.
And you go to the '90s. Like, who do you throw in there for the '90s? Like maybe Shawn Michaels. Like it's very opinionated. Now
I'm going to go ahead and tell you when but this is my the people that I grew up with, The Undertaker was a
Right.
incredibly popular wrestler.
Right.
Incredibly
Like, how do you
popular.
not include him? So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know who my four would be. Like, Flair has got to be on it. Like,
Gotta be.
100% has.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask anybody, he's going to be
What he did for just wrestling in general.
right.
You
How
can't-
mainstream he brought
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan for the same reason.
Yeah.
You know, now you can make an argument for Austin. You can make an argument for the Undertaker. You can make an argument for Triple H. You can make an argument for The Rock. I mean, because The Rock got his start in wrestling, for heaven's sakes.
Yep.
I mean, I know the two. I don't know the other two. Like, it's just a fun conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, but that's
now
all
you've
I
got to, before we go, you've got to name your song.
I can't name my song
Because you don't want to, or because
because
you
I
don't
don't
have one?
I don't have one.
Did you ever hear your dad sing?
I heard him whistle.
What did he whistle?
What did he whistle?
He just whistled.
He didn't whistle a tune. He just
Just whistled. Yeah,
He
just
just-
whistled. He said, like, just wasn't really a tune. He just whistled.
So you don't have a song you'd like to sing with him?
No. No, because, I mean, we've never, like, sang songs.
Lady.
I don't know.
Think on it and get back with us.
Hold on, I'm trying to think. What's the name of this song? Trailers for sale or rent. Yeah, that one probably.
I don't. What? You know that one?
Yeah.
50 Cent, you know,
Yeah.
King of the Road.
Yeah.
Man of man by no means, king of the road.
Mhm.
Like, that's not. It has no sentimental value. I just knew
Yeah.
he liked the song.
Is that who is that? Is that a Watson guy that sang that?
Watson and Crick?
Who is that? It'll come to me in a little while.
You biologists. will
Now
get
you
that
talking
joke.
about? Let's don't leave out. We're talking about duets in country music. Brooks and Dunn, probably the greatest, but don't forget about the Kendalls. Now, don't forget about them. Got both of you, didn't I?
Yeah.
And
I don't
everybody.
know.
You really got to dig deep for the Kendalls.
For the Kindles?
Yeah,
Like.
I think they used to have a theater down in South Alabama. On the way to the beach, I used to see it. But they were in country music too. But I was just kidding about that. Maybe the Bellamy brothers. You might want to bring them up. Not so much the Kendalls.
What about the Judds?
Nope.
I wasn't
Don't
a
want
fan.
none of that.
I wasn't a fan.
I'm not either. I'm going to be honest
No.
with you.
I have an opinion about something related, and I cannot say it here. I can't say it on Triple Threat.
Not-
Triple Threat. Couch change.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to Triple Threat. If you have not already, go ahead and like us across all our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
And I'm going to say this, because I want our there's inflation going on. People need to
Yeah.
save some money. So if you have heard all of your Triple Threats up until this point, you might want to cancel your subscription until we come back out.
I'm not going to advise you to do that, but
Just
sure.
save your buck. Save your buck.
Save your $1. I would
And when
actually,
does it when does it resubscribe?
I
Let
would
me ask that
actually-
too. Is it not like day one, like first of the day
Yeah, I
one of
think
each
so,
month?
yeah.
So if you're listening to this,
Or it might be whenever you subscribe.
see, I think it's day one.
Okay.
I might be wrong. So
The first of the month.
just to be safe, if you're listening to this on like the 29th, the 30th, or the 31st, wait until the 1st. Save yourself another
The
dollar.
28th if you're in February.
That too.
I would actually recommend the opposite. I'm gonna actually recommend that you do the opposite because inflation is the way that it is. What does a dollar matter anymore? I mean, really, seriously, it might as well. It's literally worth nothing.
Just subscribe. We would appreciate it if you
Yeah.
subscribe.
So, if you want to listen to Clint, listen to Clint. If you want to listen to me, listen to me. If you want to listen to David and do nothing, do nothing. Do you have? I mean, what else do you? I mean, do you
Well,
have a take on that?
nah.
You get 20%. Just remember that.
Yeah, I didn't. I got to think on that. What you just said. I just.
We're splitting 60 or 80.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I'm the math guy.
He's a math guy. Guys, thank you. We
I hadn't
appreciate
done my
you listening.
recommendation.
You recommended the World Games.
Yeah.
No.
Or don't go to the World Games.
Oh, was that not your actual recommendation?
Nah, I was gonna do Bomba socks, but never mind.
Not a sponsor.
Well, I just
go ahead.
Well, I just noticed the other day. This is not my recommendation. I just noticed the other day that Bomba socks. I was putting them on. I've been wearing them for a year, and there's a left one and a right one. I didn't know it.
Got an L and an R
Yeah,
on
L
it.
and R.
Yeah.
Yeah, that particular pair. I didn't realize it.
I've
No.
noticed that there's a couple of
Do you have them on right now?
Yeah.
Those look like.
The terminal list. That's what I want to recommend.
Oh, that
the
was on
terminal
my list. Thank you.
The terminal list. So it's on Amazon Prime. It's
Yep.
real good. I watched it.
Speaking of streaming, Chris Pratt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I almost had to stop watching it when he guts the guy.
Yeah.
Pulls his intestines out with the axe and nails it to the 4x4 post. I guess I'm gonna have to stop right there. But
kind of got me. It didn't get me hooked. The second episode got me hooked. The first episode I was like, I'm not sure about this. Give it a chance.
Yeah, I finished it.
Filming you. You finished it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited for the new Lord of the Rings series
Me too.
on Amazon. Yeah, I know that's right up your alley. I don't know how excited you are, but
I've never watched the original, so.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm that guy.
You're one of those people.
Well, no, just I'm not a magic fantasy guy.
We know he's one of those people.
I'm not a magic fantasy guy.
Have you ever seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The whole series?
Yeah.
Are you excited for the new House of Fire?
No.
House of whatever it's
No.
House of the Dragon?
I have such a bad taste after that last season that I don't want to watch
I'm
this.
excited, and here's why I'm excited.
Here's where this will
George
go
R.
with me.
Martin is writing for this show. That's why I'm excited.
He was an executive producer for the last one too.
No,
so.
not for the last 2 seasons. He wasn't.
Here's what I'm
is when
going
it got
to do.
bad.
Here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to wait for them all to come out, and I'll binge watch it.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to invest my time into it until it's all out. Like I did Breaking Bad, like I did Lost, like I did many other things.
See, I don't think I'll ever watch Breaking Bad. It's so slow. I tried.
Hey, the second
half
half of Better Call Saul's coming out soon.
Yeah, I've been watching it. Yeah, it's on. It's on. They've had done 2 or 3 in the second half.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I haven't. I got
The Breaking Bad, like I said, I wish I'd stopped watching it.
Stopped.
I just
Yeah, I
can't
wish
get
I'd
into
stopped
it.
during that writer's strike. It got kind of crazy during that
Yeah, so
writer's
did
strike.
Lost.
Well, they said that it holds the record for the highest rated, most well reviewed television show of all time.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was watching it. So I just
AMC
watched
does a
it.
good job with their series.
I think I got to give it another chance, but I've tried
slow burn.
multiple times of getting into it, and I just can't get into it.
Until Walter White fully gets into the drug lord part.
Yeah.
So, all right, Hammy is at Mikasitas.
Okay, I think that's where we need to move to.
All right, let's go.
Bye, guys. See y'all.
No.
Oh, that's right.
No.
Don't forget you can.
It's been so long since we've done
I know.
a talk or go home. We forgot our
I know.
catchphrase.
Don't forget you can talk.
Or
Go home.
Murphree, you look like really.
Yes, yeah, now you will. Sorry.